Welcome back, everyone. So, if you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Will Finley, and I am the independent journalist here on this channel, 411 Now. And for all my returning viewers, I'd like to welcome you back. Thank you again for being here with me, and I wouldn't and couldn't do it without you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Today, we're taking a look at the Josh Duggar case that is just started the other day, and we're going to be taking a look at one of the most damning things that the defense in his case actually lost the other day in the ruling before the actual jury had started. The judge in the case had ruled that it is admissible, the testimony about his prior acts and omissions of guilt of those acts can be used against him in this actual case itself. They had sought to actually keep the testimony and witnesses and everything else about his molestation of 4 underage girls back almost 20 years ago. They wanted to keep that out of the testimony and out of the case completely. But the judge ruled that it showed a predetermination of actual guilt, and that he had propensity to actually commit acts of endangerment to children, along with it helps substantiate the fact that he would own and possess the child pornography that he did. And ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, let me assure you, I'm going to keep this as family oriented as possible. I'm not going to get into the graphic detail of the type of child pornography that he had, other than to say this wasn't what you'd call run-of-the-mill child pornography. These were extremely graphic and disgusting videos. And he didn't just have a few of them, he had a lot of them. He had a lot of still images, and he also traded and downloaded these actual videos and movies and stills to a hard drive that he had there at the car dealership where he worked and owned. He had this stuff that he had taken off of the internet on purpose so he could have it for his own self for whatever reason. You can fill in the blank of why he did it and why he has this illness. Because it is an illness. Child pornography, and those who are addicted to child pornography and those who molest children can never, ever be cured of their actual illness itself. And that needs to be absolutely clear. The only thing that a psychiatrist or psychologist or therapy can do for somebody who has been convicted or has the desire to watch or consume child pornography in any manner at all is to make them realize that they are harming an actual victim. And the most that any psychotherapist, therapist, or counselor could ever do for somebody who has molested, actually taken actions upon their desires to harm a child, is to get them to realize that they are destroying another life, and that child has actual feelings, and they to realize that they need to stop and that they can't do what they're doing. Again, those who have the propensity to consume or actually abuse children will never be cured of their actual illness. And it is an illness, it is not a disease. They may want to call it whatever they want. Some even think that they're not harming children at all in any way. It is just a fantasy world. But yet, they're supporting the abuse of an actual child. Someone else is physically doing what they're doing against the child's best wishes. Josh Duggar is the worst of the worst. He's done it once before, molested, that we know of, at least 4 under the girls under the age of 13. And the odds are very highly that if he's done it once, he's done it again, at least at some point in the past. And through their connections with Josh Duggar and his family through the church and the pressure of exploitation of them, and if a victim was to come forward, they would be very well equipped to make sure that the story never got out there into the public, and that the victim just wasn't believed at all. How many other victims are there of Josh Duggar? And the worst part, ladies and gentlemen, is he was raising two little girls who were right at about the age that Josh Duggar has a fascination with. Prepubescent females. It's a sickness. It's an illness that he'll never be cured of. He can never be trusted around minor children. But his case is, now going forward. I have no idea how his defense is going to even possibly hope for a win on this one, because there's internet history that is out there is damning, extraordinarily damning. And he had gone to great lengths to hide his fascination and his child pornography usage, away from his own family, partitioning off hard drives on several different devices so they wouldn't stumble upon it. People like this need to be put away somewhere and kept away from society, because again, there is no cure.